plan is working. And one of the things I'm proudest of is working everywhere.
The judge set this case for trial in August. Is that going to happen? It's highly unlikely that it's going to happen.
We've been very clear, privately and publicly, with Ukrainians, and they understand that we will not engage in negotiations to end this war without them.
Sleepy part of summer, but a lot of news here in Washington. Hello, I'm Robert Costa. Welcome to America Decides. We'll preview the stakes at the upcoming NATO summit in just a moment, plus discuss former President Trump's co-defendant in that classified documents case who pleaded not guilty today in Miami. But first, President Biden, as you just heard, is touting his domestic agenda here at home, visiting a key primary state. The president criticized Republican lawmakers in Congress for voting against the Inflation Reduction Act today. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now from the White House. Weijia, thanks so much for being here. Why is the president going to South Carolina, one of his states that's so associated with him, back to that endorsement from Congressman Clyburn in 2020? What was the point of going there today to talk about the economy?
Robert, it's always great to see you, and you are absolutely right that this is not just a speech about infrastructure. Of course, the president is on a tour of the entire country, visiting various parts to talk about his economic plan, but it is really significant that he went to Columbia, South Carolina today because, as you very well know, the DNC changed its primary voting calendar to make South Carolina the first state to vote in the primary, which is something that the president supported. And this is an incredibly important state because even though he may receive challengers in the primary and he will still likely be the nominee, this does set the stage. It sets the tone for the rest of the election, right? And so he wants to make sure that he is touting the jobs that he is creating there, that he is standing in front of a manufacturing company that promises 600 jobs, because he wants to sell to the American people that his plan is working and that he needs more time. I mean, look, he said that he knows that his plan isn't perfect and that it is going to time to feel the bigger impacts, but he is asking for that time. And even though this is certainly not an official campaign event, Robert, as you also know, pretty much every event from this point on is a campaign event.
So when you open your notebook and look at the calendar, look at the map, where do you expect the president to head next in the summer and in the fall? I mean, it's interesting. He's going to the South. Yes, South Carolina has a lot of connection to him. But where else do you expect this White House to want to put him out there?
I think he will be seeing a lot of the Midwest. I think certainly that he'll be going to Wisconsin and Michigan. He's already made visits there because these are the states that will make the biggest difference for him when it comes to the general election. But I do expect that he will also make more West Coast swings. He's already done that this summer to raise money and really fan out across the country. But it's not just about President Biden. The vice president is out. His cabinet secretaries are out in various places touting Bidenomics, which is what they are calling his economic plan. That is backfiring in some places, though. Republicans using that to emphasize his inflation and what they are calling his poor record on the economy. But I do think he's going to hit the states where it's going to matter the most.
I'm sure we'll see him back in my home state of Pennsylvania sometime soon as well. Weijia Jiang, thank you very much.